Yay! I'm so excited to be here to give you some counseling techniques you can use today in your speech therapy sessions. Now, I think some common techniques, the first three I'm going to talk about are very common counseling techniques that you definitely need to know. We don't really get a ton of counseling preparation in our master's program. In my master's preparation, I got one counseling discussion in the stuttering class, but I didn't get any other kind of counseling preparation. And you really do need to have some skills with clients, because so many times you're working with parents and more than kids, a lot of times teenagers, they have some more struggles that involve how their speech impairment impacts their lives. So I'm going to give you 8 counseling techniques that you can incorporate into therapy today.
And some of them are going to work for clients and not parents, and then some of them are going to work for parents but not clients.
So number 1 is restating. So that's when somebody says something to you, restate what they said back to them, and that can help that client process what they're saying. So for example, you're going to repeat something that they said. So if somebody says to you, "Oh gosh, that R is so hard for me to say," you could say, "hard." And then they'll think about it. Yeah, hard as in my tongue just can't make that movement. And that could give both you and the client some feedback about what they could do to better improve it. So I think this would work best for a client versus a parent. Number 2 is reflection. So that's when you actually almost mirror what the person had said. Say, "I'm so frustrated, I just can't do this anymore." And then you would say back to them, "So you're frustrated and you can't do this anymore." And then they say, "No, I'm not, I don't want to stop therapy, I just," and then they can help explain more about what they're feeling and how things are going. And so reflection is an extremely powerful technique. Number 3 is paraphrasing. So that's when a client might go on kind of a streak telling you about something. And like I said, this is not necessarily appropriate for every client. And so with paraphrasing, might be better served for a parent that you might be counseling. So they might tell you a bunch of their feelings and then you kind of summarize it for them. So when you put it in your own words, "So what you're saying is blah, 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 blah," it helps kind of condense what the person has just told you, and it also shows that you're listening to what they're saying, that you're an active listener. So you heard what they said, and a lot of parents really do need to be heard and validated. Number 4 is avoid cliches. And I've made this mistake so many times, and that's when you say things like,
"It's going to be okay."
You can never say that to parents or someone with a communication disorder, because you can't predict the future. It might not be okay. It's better not to say anything if you're gonna say something like "it'll be okay." That doesn't help anybody. Another one is,
"I know how you feel."
You actually don't know how they feel, and I have been super guilty of saying that when somebody said they have a kid that's difficult at homework time. I've said,
"Oh my gosh, I know how you feel. My son is difficult at homework time."
Trying to say that you know how somebody feels does invalidate their feelings, actually. So avoid cliches. Number 5, interrupting. Interrupting needs to be the very last thing we ever do, especially with clients with communication disorders. We never want to interrupt because they're telling us something and it's so hard for them to communicate. I only interrupt maybe to paraphrase, like I said before, that technique. If at all possible, don't interrupt unless you're really up against the clock. Okay. 6, recognizing negative thoughts. This is really important when working with clients more than parents. So if they say something like, "I'm never going to be able to make the S sound," we have to tell them, "Look, you can do this. This might be hard, but you can do this. I believe in you." And then with other clients and maybe not parents, I would do the miracle question. And that's when you say to somebody, "What would it be like if you could do your L sound? What would it be like if you could do your L sound every day?" The miracle question helps clients kind of think about their future and the goals that they have to work on. So for number 8, all that nonverbal communication, you can check out my other video. It's all about the acronym SOLAR. And you can figure out how to make a client comfortable with you via your nonverbal communication. Comment below, definitely like and subscribe, and I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you so much.